I finally got done watching this movie yesterday. Yeah, I was thinking about uh, watching Halloween Kills tonight. I'm not sure if I am or not, but I've been on a Halloween kick, man. Ever since I worked, you know what got me started was Halloween 2, because I was shocked how good Halloween 2 was, and I just never give Halloween 2 a chance. But let's not talk about Halloween 2. Let's talk about this newer one. Uh, I put this in last night because I have been watching Halloween for the past. It's been about a week or so now because because 2 was so good. 3 was too as well. Three is I tell you what, 3 was surprisingly. I remember 3, and I just never. I I remember watching 3, and I remember that. Uh, Watching it, and it just didn't have Michael Myers in it. But I wasn't that disappointed. But I was looking for Michael Myers. But anyway, so I decided to watch this. I hope the lighting's all right. So I decided to watch this, and you know, I I was watching last night because I got a job, so I got work, so I got to get my sleep. Work out and all that kind of stuff. So this one says the hands down the best Halloween sequel ever. I don't know about all that. But I have to admit, when I put this in last night, I was actually watching it. So I sit there and I popped it in, and I put it in my Xbox Series X, and I was sitting there and this is what I said to myself. I said, if I'm going to sit there if I sit there and don't skirmish, because for me to sit down, I'm pretty much of an active person. So if I sit down and I'm not squirming or kind of like, then I'm into it. So when I put this in, I was glued. Yeah, the two people, it's a newer one. The two people wanted to go and uh, see if they can get Michael Myers to talk and all that stuff. And then you had that Dr. Loomis wannabe. Uh, I can't think of that guy's name. When I watched this last night, I said, "Yeah, I remember that guy." I was sitting there, because this movie is what got me Peacock. This is the movie that got me the Peacock, because Peacock had it to where you could watch it either on Peacock or you can go to theater and watch it. I know it was this one, so I decided to get Peacock, and I watched Halloween, and then I went to the theater to go see the second Halloween, if I ain't mistaken. Did I? I think I did. But anyway, I enjoyed this movie. But last night when I was watching it, to be honest with you guys, when I was watching it, I was I was sitting there going, man, Vicky, I don't think you're gonna get into this, because I don't know how you're not gonna get into it, because you liked them, but why is it that you don't think you're gonna get? This is the things I'm saying to myself. So I started watching it, and then I didn't move. I didn't move at all. And I don't think this movie's perfect at all, but I still like this movie. I still like this movie. I just like the fact that, Jamie Lee Curtis returns to her iconic role as Laura Strode. They said that there was only one part where they said, well, where Michael Myers is supposed to be her brother, and they said, no, they said that, but they're not brothers and sisters. But that's all they said. So I don't know what the thing is with Michael and Laurie Strode, but I just think that, when I watched this last night, I was glad that I could sit there and watch the whole thing. Because like right now, it's 8 o'clock, and I got to go to bed here in about an hour and a half. I need my rest because I work out and stay fit and various other things and my job. So if I put in Halloween Kills, I know I'm going to just sit there and watch it. But what I did like about this movie is the fact that I watched it. And yes, it's not perfect. And yes, I enjoyed it. But if I was like for reals, I'd be like, man, you got Michael Myers over there? I said, yeah. I said, well, this time, man, I want y'all to keep him locked up until Labor Day. I said, Labor Day you can move him. Because I was sitting there watching this last night, and I was like, now why do they always seem to move Michael Myers 2 or 3 days before Halloween? And why is he so close to Haddonfield? Yeah, it's like, hey man, Michael, you always seem to be transported around Halloween. So I was sitting in my chair, this chair right here, and I kept sitting there going to myself, I'm like, well, it's awful convenient, man. Michael Myers got out during Halloween time. He's in Haddonfield again. And I'm like, man, y'all gonna have to come up with a better, y'all gonna have to come up with something better than that. You know, like maybe have Michael Myers get out during 4th of July. You know, have a 4th of July Michael Myers. You know what I'm saying? Because that would be cool to have Michael Myers running around 4th of July because it's just be Michael Myers got loose during the 4th of July. I get the Halloween tie-in part. You can call it Halloween. Just call it Halloween in July. You know, it's just he got out in July. But anyway, he gets out. They had a car accident. He gets out. But that Dr. Loomis wannabe, because he said he was Dr. Loomis's pupil, and you know Dr. Loomis obviously passed away, and he said he was his pupil. But I remember the first time I remember watching that, I kept sitting there going, I was sitting there going like this, because you know I'm old school, right? So I'm sitting there going, man, you just try to be a Dr. Loomis, man. You just, so that's my attitude when I was watching him. I was like, and he was just trying to sound so, just kind of like him in a way, not like him, but he had his own style, you know? But you can't kill him. He needs to be studied and all that stuff. There was part when they ran over Michael Myers. I sit there and said, damn, boy, Michael Myers should have had his legs broke. But I'm glad he didn't have his legs broke, or you wouldn't be able to have him have that final climax. But I ain't gonna lie though, man. Him and Jamie Lee Curtis, man, getting down that little fort she built up was pretty slick. Uh, I thought that was pretty slick. Uh, and then when she had all those little mannequins in that one room, and Michael Myers was in there. Michael Myers is smart for somebody that ain't gonna talk. And then when that doctor man killed that cop, and then he put the mask on and had that chick, Lloyd Strode's daughter in the back seat, and she's sitting back there, and he puts the mask on. Boy, he was factual with Michael. Uh, what else? That little that woman that was babysitting that little black kid, and he was. A lot of people said they didn't care for that part. He said I wouldn't be sitting here clipping my little nasty toenails if I thought that community was that. You know what got me though? I said, why is she in there? Now, this is what I said the first time I was watching it. Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed this movie, you guys. I'm just giving you my little whatever. So I'm sitting there going, how come he ain't trick-or-treating? All these kids are running around with trick-or-treat on. She's babysitting the kid, and he's supposed to be out trick-or-treating. Wasn't she supposed to be taking him trick-or-treating? I know his mom and dad wanted to go party, and they was going to a Halloween party, but I'm like, how come he's not trick-or-treating? Because when they got to the car, there was kids running around trick-or-treating. He's in there being babysitted by her. Just threw me off a little bit. Am I complaining? No, I'm just saying this is a little stuff I see. And then Michael Myers killed that woman that had that baby, but he stops and looks down at that crib, and then he walks out the door. Now, first time I seen that, I said, man, please do not kill that baby. He seemed to have some common sense. Like when he runs into kids just run right into him, and he just stares off, and he just don't do nothing to them, which is cool. Because I like in this movie, these two kids ran into him, and he's like, whoa. And they looked up at him, he didn't do nothing to him. It's almost like he can sense innocence or something like that. But Lloyd Strode's innocent. But anyway, I know he's supposed to represent pure evil and all that kind of stuff. But what else? And then I was sitting there going, Michael Myers went in there and, he used that woman was cutting a piece of ham, right? And, she put the knife down. Then when he had knacks, but it was so weird because he was going in places where there was all kinds of freaking weapons available. He went in that garage, he got the hatch. He went in there, he killed that woman, and then he grabs the knife. I was sitting there saying, man, Michael, you need to stop and grab you a piece of that ham, man, on the way out the door. That's what I was saying, because, she had a big chunk of ham. Kind of felt bad for her, though, man. He killed her like that because she had a little baby. But then, he didn't kill the baby, which is a good thing. But, it's a movie. What else? And then there was that phone call. That one chick, man. That one chick was looking out the window, and she got off the phone, and he was behind her, and she yelled. That was a good. She played that role real good, cause she really act like she really act like he got up on her out of surprise, and man, he cut her, and then he slammed her head into that thing and bashed her head in. There was some good kill shots in there. And those cops, man, that was sitting out there, out there by Lloyd Strode's, and they were supposed to be like watching the house, and they was up there talking about, he was talking about a sandwich, and the guy had a brownie in the other one, and then they was looking up and seeing, you know, their the cop that he was more or less their boss, but they were all sheriff. He was already dead, but Michael Myers was driving the car. I was sitting there saying to myself, man, Michael, you still know how to drive a vehicle, don't you? But I do like the guy that played Michael Myers. They did a good job picking him. He did a good job playing Michael Myers. What else? I really enjoyed this movie, you guys. I'm just giving you my little, they ain't nitpicks. I just be watching movies sometimes going, man, I know you got to be getting hungry sometimes, You can't be operating on an empty stomach, man, because, these are thoughts that goes in my head, man. Where's he going to stop and get something? And then there was a part, man, that got me. It was like, I'm not complaining. It's just like, I'm like, okay, Michael Myers got out. And he happened to run into the same people that was interviewing him when they visited him at that hospital that he was at. And then there was a part that I never did see, this part where, she goes to use the restroom and he's putting gas in the car. And then when he goes up to the window, it shows Michael Myers killing that guy. You can see his arm hitting that guy. I never seen it. I went like, and then he took his clothes off, because that's when he walked in and he seen that the guy was dead. And then he seen the guy that was a mechanic had his clothes off. And then that bathroom scene, though, man, when Michael Myers killed him and killed her. When he killed those two, man, he had a lot of power, because he put a lot of power in those people. Because every time he hit them, he hit them with some authority, man. He had some strength, man. He had some strength. I said, dang, Michael, you been working out in that place, man? Where you at? Like, dang, just stand there. He don't talk though. But overall, you guys, I really enjoyed this movie. I really did. I'm not gonna lie. I am a huge Friday the 13th fan, more than Halloween, but I am a big Halloween fan as well. Which one is better? I don't know, because I like them both. Because you got to understand, I graduated back in 1978. The first Halloween came out in 1978. Jamie Lee Curtis is the same age I am. And Friday the 13th, I think, came out, a couple years after Halloween. If I ain't mistaken. Because Friday 13th was the one that did all the kickoffs of all that stuff like that. Then you had Jason, you had the Nightmare on Elm Street. Nightmare on Elm Street, I was a little late on those, but I like those too. But I actually went through all the Friday the 13th movies, man. I mean, I forced myself to go through those because I got that expensive box set I bought a few years back. And I said to myself, Vic, man, you need to watch these movies, man. So why don't you just, ain't nobody on your YouTube channel that much. You got at that time, 604 subscribers. I had 500, then it went to 5 something, then it went up 600. I got some new subscribers. Thank you very much. God bless you. But thanks for the sub. But I said, just watch them and just throw up, what you thought. Because I'm not a good reviewer at all. But I ain't gonna lie, you guys. I like this. I'm trying to find out, what was the guys that David Allen Gordon Green or something like that. So one was behind these. And I really You know what was weird about this though is just that I actually sat down and I didn't squirm. I didn't squirm. Uh, I just watched the whole thing. Like I'm gonna go ahead and put in Halloween Kills. Drink me another. I like to drink a lot of water, so I'm gonna drink another thing of water and watch Halloween Kills, and then I'll probably finish it tomorrow. But uh, ever since I watched, Halloween, then Halloween 2, I saved Halloween 3 for the last because it didn't have Michael Myers in it. But man, when I watched Halloween 3, you guys, I ain't gonna lie, I thought that was pretty ballsy to drift off and do something different. You know, and I think now a lot of people really like Halloween 3 because after I watched Halloween 3, I really like Halloween 3. But I wanted to see if this still holds up, you know, and it still holds up. Like I told you guys, this is not a perfect movie by far, but I'm not that type of guy who will sit here and go, I just be talking, I'll be talking. I was like, man, Michael Myers, you got to be hungry a little bit. Don't you want a glass of water or something? Yeah. Man, your legs ain't broke after that car hit you like that, but his legs wasn't broke, but oh, yeah, that car ran into him and knocked him down, and I said, man, your legs should be shattered, but it wasn't. He got up, man, when he got up and killed that Dr. Loomis wannabe, and he said, he looked up at him, he said, speak, speak, and he took his foot and smashed his head in there, and I was like, whoa, that looked pretty good. That was a good money shot. That was a really good money shot. But yeah, you guys, I'm not gonna lie, I really like this movie. To tell you the truth, I could find stuff wrong with it, but I think for me, I just enjoy watching movies, and I know there's a lot of movies out there, y'all, that I watch that is terrible, or when you listen to if there's times I've listened, there's times I've watched movies and then I'll listen to an actual reviewer, which I don't listen to many reviewers anymore. And I sit there and go, wow, all that was in that movie. Huh. And I actually sit there and think like this. I'm like, dang. After they break everything down, I'm talking about these people that be slicing and dicing and, I mean, going through the movies and going through all the little stuff and this. And I'm like, damn. And I go like, yes, dang. How come I didn't see that? But then after they do all that, I sit there and I go like this. I go, yeah, well, I still like the movie. Because I don't know, man. Movies got to be atrocious, man, for me not to like it. You know what I mean? What is there a movie out there? I'm watching a movie right now that I could consider like, what do you got? Honestly, this movie I'm watching now, it's on Peacock. I think if the right person got a hold of it, put a little bit of extra money in it, and put a little bit more tender loving care in it, that would have done good. I'm gonna finish it. I might even talk about it on this YouTube channel, but I was sitting there going like this. Yeah, this is cheap, and some of the acting was just. Some of the girls in there was terrible, man. Just like, oh my God, girl, you not very good actress. You're not very good either. Man, you suck. I'm saying this to myself, and that's me saying that. But man, I'm really cool with everybody that was in this movie. I really am. And I do totally get if there's anybody out there that really found anything wrong with this per se, because I personally sorry about the camera. I personally can see why people can't find stuff wrong with this movie, but I really enjoyed this movie. It's oh yeah, I actually, you know what I did? I'm not big deleted scenes and uh, commentary kind of guy. I'm just not. I know a lot of collectors say they was mad because when they got their 4K, it didn't have all the extra bells and whistles. Of course, this does. So I watched that, and and they had a member in memory of the guy that was behind all the older ones. Cade, I forgot his name. What was that guy's name? He had a weird name, but I kept looking for his name to come across, but he must have passed away. And then they said in memory of him because he. But you guys, look, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I know a lot of movies I watch can be bad, and I know a lot of movies. If I really wanted to sit and slice and dice, I could find a lot of things wrong with this movie. Um, but there was some good stuff in here. Like there was times where you think he's gonna see Michael Myers kill somebody and he ain't kill nobody. Like that time when he killed that babysitter, I kind of thought she was gonna get away, but she didn't get away. And then the little black kid got away. But then when he kept when she had that guy come over because he's in that garage messing with that motorcycle and the motorcycle fell down. He ran in there. I thought I was gonna show Michael Myers killing that kid, and he didn't kill her. It's just when the sheriff got there, he had the knife stuck in him up against the wall. Now, I thought that was a very good shot. And then, and then, and then the Halloween party. Let's talk about the Halloween party was pretty legit. The Bonnie and Clyde thing, the girl with his Clyde, and he with his Bonnie. That he was kissing this chick, man. This chick was, I don't know, man. I was young at one time, man. I know what it's like to be having somebody over there, and then you got this chick, man. It's like, man, he he didn't do much, but he did kiss the girl, and then she was kind of upset, and then he threw her phone into that dip, that cheese dip thing. And then when she started walking home, that guy that was walking home with her, I mean, the first time I was watching that movie, I said, he gonna try to make a pass at her. I said, boy, she ain't even remotely attracted to you. And she's like, he tried to kiss her. And he's like, really? And she kind of like, I like how she did that perfect. She did that perfect. He goes, oh, you deserve somebody nicer. It doesn't mean that she wants to be with you, you fool, man. Come on, man. And then, he was like, had that motion light. He said, what's those lights? She goes, it's motion lights, dumbass, and she's walking away from him. Then he seen Michael Myers off in the distance. He thought it was the guy that owned the thing, and that was a pretty good shot where the lights kept flickering on and Michael kept getting closer, and then Michael cut him, and then Michael ended up killing him. And then when she turned around to see if he's all right, because she was kind of mad at him, then she seen him up against that fence, and he kind of stuck the fence through his neck. So good shot there too. And then when she finally when she came face to face with Michael, and she's like, "Oh crap! This my grandma wasn't talking crap," which was Laurie Strode, which is her grandma. So yeah, man. And then had Laurie Strode's daughter, and she got killed in the second one or the third one or something like that. But anyway, yeah, she got killed in the second one, and then it was Laurie Strode and the daughter. Laurie Strode's daughter's daughter was in the third one. I remember. Anyway, I thought that was a good scene too. I didn't want this video to be this long, but I just remembered that scene where they was walking home, and I said this. I remember when I was watching this when I got it on Peacock, and I said he gonna try to make a pass at her. I kept saying, dude, you're not even remotely her type. And that dude was kind of like a bad boy, but he kind of like was a semi bad boy. A semi bad boy is kind of not a bad boy. He's kind of like can be in the category of bad boy. He's not like a bad boy. Bad boys would just be whatever. So he was like in the middle. And that guy that played that role was pretty good. I think he had a bigger role in the second movie though. I'm getting ready to watch it now. But anyway, y'all, that's all I got for the movie I thought I wasn't going to enjoy. I don't know what made me think I was not going to enjoy this movie. I don't know what made me think I wasn't going to enjoy it. I think it's because I just am so shocked at how good 2 was. I know y'all probably sitting there, dude, you keep talking about 2. We know 2 is good. I know, but I just didn't know it was that good. Because all I do is watch Halloween. I watched the first one. I just love that movie. It just got sentimental. It's so sentimental to me because I graduated in 1978, man. I was young, man. I was coming into my own. I was got a job, man. I was just happy to have a job. I was just happy to have a little apartment. I don't know, man. I don't know. Anyway, when I remember watching 2, it never really resonated with me until I watched it recently, and I was shocked how good 2 is. But I ain't gonna lie. 3, I say 3 for last because it didn't have Michael in it. So I watched them out of sequence. I watched 1 and 2, then I watched 4, then I watched 5. You know what I'm saying? They all kind of run together. And thanks to you guys, y'all was telling me which one to watch after that. So a lot of y'all in the comments. So yeah, man. Yeah, man. Getting ready to watch Halloween Kills. So we'll catch you next video. God bless. Take care. And we'll catch you next video. We'll see you.